On the frontier, the Chuck Wagon was a place for food and conversation on the trail. Cookie just finished breakfast here at the Agile Chuck Wagon podcast. Grab a cup of coffee and stay for a short talk on an Agile and Lean software delivery topic. Here's your host, Chuck Durfee. Hello, today's topic is an introduction to Kanban. You're probably familiar with Scrum. Scrum is a form of Agile process. And with Scrum come a bunch of constraints that tell you certain decisions that have already been made about your process. For example, you're going to work iteratively. Kanban is a lean process. It comes from the lean manufacturing community, and the goal of lean is to eliminate waste in delivering goods. A man named David Anderson and his team extrapolated that into non-manufacturing contexts, and he called that method Kanban, which is the Japanese word for signboard. And he came up with some practices that, if you follow them rigorously, will allow you to develop your own process. So, whereas Scrum is like a ready-made out-of-the-box solution, Kanban is more like a toolkit or a Lego set that you can use to build your own process. I first became familiar with Kanban through the work of Jim Benson and Tony and Demaria Berry, who came up with Personal Kanban. Personal Kanban is an application of Kanban techniques to an individual's backlog. The idea here is that you have a to-do list of items and you're wondering how to get through them all. There are two rules in Personal Kanban. One is to visualize your work. The idea here is to get everything that you might possibly need or want to do out of your head and onto a piece of paper, or as a set of post-it notes on a corkboard, or a whiteboard, or something so that you can step back and survey your body of work and begin to decide how you want to tackle it. Those visualizations are known as Kanban boards, and the one that is suggested to get started in Personal Kanban is perhaps the simplest possible board. The three states on this board, the three columns on this board, are to do, doing, and done. So you take all of your work and you decide whether you haven't started it yet, whether it's in progress, or whether it's finished. Now, just visualizing your work is a powerful tool, but it's just a snapshot of where you are with your life. The next step is a way to help you try to manage that, and that is to limit your work in progress. That's the second principle. Work in progress is what it sounds like. It's the stuff that's in the doing column. And the limit that they usually suggest in Personal Kanban is just 1 or 2 items. Now, this has some pretty strong implications. If you were to choose an item like obtain an MBA, why that would block one of your 2 available slots for doing things for maybe 2 years. So it's important to pick small items and to learn to break down your work into tiny chunks, and you'll find that as you do that, you get through them very quickly. Just those 2 rules are enough to manage an individual's backlog, but when you start talking about managing the work of, say, a team or a group of teams, well, you need some more practices. And that's what we'll be going into in the next podcast in this series. Thank you. We're packing up the Chuck Wagon for another day in the field. Thanks for listening. Agile Chuck Wagon is a production of DurfWeb. Chuck Durfee is an Agile coach and software developer from Denver, Colorado, USA. Direct questions or comments to Chuck at his email, chuck@agilechuckwagon.com. The background music is called Waiting for the Rain, uploaded by user Sky Coyote to the community audio section of the Internet Archive under a Creative Commons Attribution and Share Alike license. Hope to see you again soon. Happy trails.